Mic check. What is up, guys? How's it going? I got my tea. This time I have a Chinese style like herbal tea. So it's kind of bland, or not bland, but like bitter in flavor. But then I have strawberries in it to kind of sweeten it up. Some lime concentrate. So just for like a sour flavor, and some honey, obviously, because it's tea. All tea needs honey. You know what's interesting about honey? Oh, by the way, I've started to learn that I need to be more careful with my P's, because every time I say P, it'll blow up the speaker. I need to be careful with that too. Because, look, I don't have a good spot to put my popper, so it's you know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure like what that solution will be, but anyway, I guess we better get to the episode at hand. But man, all right. Where should I start? I have a few things that I kind of want to talk about today. Headphones are kind of uncomfortable. Hold on, let me catch my breath. All right. So I just finished all my Christmas shopping, which you guys will not know about until or this episode will come out way later, because I've been doing them ahead of time, being good about myself and everything. So now I had a plan for this guy last time, but I can't remember what it was. I think it was if I take out one of the things first, then I'll be able to just attack him. Yeah. Okay. So that's definitely the move. Okay, but what did I want to talk to you guys about? Well, actually, I was thinking about while I was making my tea, what I thought was kind of cool is, did you guys know that, well, you know about tea being, tea used to be a, oh my gosh, this is so annoying. Alright, so here's actually the new plan. I'm going to take out the robots, and then while they're suffering and dying, then I'm going to heal up using that time. So speaking of, I need to wait. But I was trying to think, where was I going with the Chinese tea? I realized in the middle of me saying that I don't actually I'm not very educated on the topic, on the subject, so it's kind of tough for me. But it was something like tea like what is it? Tea festivals or something. Well, if you guys don't know, I've started getting into sumie art, which actually I've talked about before, so you guys should know. Sumie, something like that. Well, I started to get into that style of painting, just because I'm trying to. I don't know if you guys remember like my philosophy on. You should always be stretching your brain, like putting your brain under stress, and then that's really annoying. You should always be stressing your brain out, and then just like complete relaxation. Like once your brain has been freaked out, now you just need to chill out. You know what I mean? That's my philosophy. And reason being, I think it's been a while since I've looked deep into this stuff, but I know there's some good, like, some good argument for, let's see, how do I explain this, or how do I go about this? Because I swear, like, I know kind of like a general idea of what I'm talking about, but I wouldn't say I'm like the best educated on it. However, I will say, I know that, okay, so where does creativity come from? And then this is a really good, or really, yeah, well, a good question, to ask, because, I mean, just thinking about it, or not me thinking about it, but one thing, whenever I actually brought this up to Mark Kushner, which I might have already said this before. Nailed it. So, actually, whenever, or if I was asked you, where do ideas come from? Because the thing that I'm trying to solve is, how do you have better ideas, more creative ideas, and better, more creative ideas. And then I also want to try and make, I guess that's it. Just like better and more creative ideas. So first off, what is a better idea? A better idea is an idea that I think will serve you. Yeah, an idea that will serve you the best. So then what does that mean, to serve you? To serve you means to something that will help you achieve your goals. So then what are your goals? Your goals should be something that will help you to be content with who you are in the future. Okay, so then the next question is, what would help me be more content, more happy? And that's really up to you. I always talk about how happiness is, or not happiness, but like being content with life is a perspective. And I don't want to be mistaken here, actually. I don't think it's necessarily about, it's not about being happy, because there are going to be bad times, but it's about making use of your time. So if you kind of think about it in this sense, there's no guarantee. We're basically, if you think about Earth as like a giant spaceship, it's like we could be smashed into space debris at any second. So, he passed out. He died, bro. Don't even trip. I know what's going on here. That man's dead. But anyway, back to my purpose. Solid sheet of paper. The rat is more than just a statue. It knows the secret of this dome. Catch it. That's dope. So, what was I saying? Dash with B, catch them with the A. Hold on, let me refocus for a second. So, press the LR buttons and then press A to access the secret passage. Don't make a mistake, you'll be sorry. I think we want to make a mistake because we want LR. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Oh, wait. Actually, but I wanted to fight the... I guess it's too late. Yeah, okay, so... Dude, everything just looks so much better once that happened. But, as I was saying, though... So what serves you the best is something that will help you to reach your goals. And your goal should be something related to, if not specifically, what you believe will bring you the most, maybe a better term is joy. What will bring you the most joy in your life? Because joy doesn't necessarily mean that there's not going to be bad times, because there will be bad times, but it's about making the most out of your whole time altogether, out of your experience on Earth as a I don't know, a general experience. Yeah. Anyway, so I forgot why did I went down this road because I was talking about creative and better ideas. So the way that better ideas helps you to, I mean, obviously come up with I think better and creative is kind of together, I guess, in the way that I'm talking about. Because I guess to define creative, I think it's a positive thing, you know. So creative would be something that is something that you appreciate, and something that you appreciate is something that should serve you. So I guess good and creative together. But at the same time, a good idea might be to save money. Saving money might not bring you the most joy, though, but it's still a good idea. So part of the creative idea might be taking it a step further. Okay, how can I save money in a creative way that'll help me bring more? Okay, so here's the difference. A good idea, well, I guess a good idea is, well, I guess it's the same definition. So coming up with creative ideas, we're just gonna scrap the good idea part. So coming up with creative ideas, because some ideas can be bad ideas, but you can maybe address them in a creative way that could serve you. I don't know. But so a creative idea, shit, I already forgot what I was saying. I guess a creative idea would be, in my head, we'll scratch that. How do you come up creative and good ideas? Creative ideas are good ideas. We'll just say that. So then, how do you come up with better ideas or more creative ideas? So I think. Oh, here's what I was getting at. So this kind of corresponds. So how do you come up with more creative ideas? This is where I would say creative ideas come from information. And here's my case. So where do ideas come from to begin with? I would say, well, that's cool. Creative ideas come from creative ideas. Well, if you think about it, here, let me ask you this. Let's start here, because this is where she had me start. So, how is any idea? Are there any new ideas? An argument would be, I said yes, because in my head I was like, okay, a new idea could just be coming up with like a new statement or like a new way to look at something. Oh, so could you ever make or say anything that has not been created before? So yeah, I would say yeah. I mean, like I could say scattalabootalaboosh, and there's a chance that no one ever has ever said scabbaladoobalaboosh. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm coming from. But then the other argument is, where does that come from? Well, one, in order for me to know that no one else has ever used that word, I kind of have to already know that I have to already know that about kind of like about language, and I have to have a some kind of like pre idea or some amount of information that's already been created before in order for me to be able to know or comprehend something. Hold on, I want to see this. So if you're listening on the podcast, I'm gonna just tell you what I'm looking at right now. So in Chrono Trigger, there's different times, and right now I'm in the future, and right now I'm seeing the bad guy Lavos or something like that destroying the world in 1999. And so I'm just looking at him creating lava all over the world and all over the cities. And then what you're hearing now, that really annoying noise, is the thing, or is the screen breaking down. So I want to apologize for that, but yeah. So now there's this realization that that's how the world ends. It's a really well put together game. I just like... Usually I think things get really mixy and bad whenever you try and deal with different time zones, but the handling of this game is just something else. And the atmosphere of this game and the music of this game, man, like, atmosphere, that's something. Like, now it's playing hopeful music, you know what I mean? And it takes you in. It absorbs you into the game. That's a creative idea, you know? Like, that's someone had to test ideas. You know, someone could have just created a game first, like Pong. And Pong works, right? Like, Pong is a game that works. So why didn't we just stop at Pong? You know what I mean? It's like, what's the point? Well, it's because someone received information, and I guess... Now, this is interesting. I guess what's even more questionable is, okay, well, why would someone push? But anyway, staying focused on this topic, though, someone had to take previous information that was already there. Maybe it's about people or about games already. Or like Pong. Like, people took Pong and noticed that, you know, it's fun and it's cool. So how can I take that a step further? And then we started learning about atmosphere and using human like functions to kind of get us even deeper into these games, you know? Like, that's significant. Like, it's cool, significant. I think it's special. Huh. Well, I guess we're stuck now, but let's see, what was my case though? So starting from starting from that idea, never mind, I take that back. Not starting from that idea. That was a completed idea. I don't know. I'm fascinated with, I guess one part of creativity is understanding us. Or better ideas is understanding us. Because if you think about what is a good idea, well, that question doesn't really make sense. You know what? What is a good idea? I don't know what is a bad idea. A bad idea, we want to make things that make our lives easier, things that serve us, work for us, So I think any good idea is just simply an idea that improves our lives, which is a good thing. And if you think about it, I think that would be one person's argument, then we kind of suck. Why? If we want to improve our lives, part of improving our lives, just for example, would be like destroying the earth. What we've done to oceans and rivers and whatever. But then at the same time, there's a beauty to that. You know what I mean? Because if the meaning of life is kind of up to you, taking up responsibility, what is your responsibility? Well, shoot, I don't know. If a good idea is simply an idea, I'm not going to move. Shoot. Well, if a good idea is something that serves us, then I think a good purpose or a good responsibility to take up is also something that would serve us. And also at the same time, you want to have a more enjoyable experience, right? But here's kind of where this idea is coming from. So if you think about the best way to eliminate suffering is to simply get rid of being a human, just making us cyborgs, But it doesn't really make sense to be alive anyway, and this is something that I think depressed people point out very well. They just have so low energy. It's like they don't even know what else to do about it, But here's what I'm saying though. I need to stop looking at this game whenever I get on these tangents because it keeps distracting me. But here's what I'm saying about this. It's where did this idea come from? I need to revisit the tangent I was on. What the heck? Factory set called Protodome. Something about taking up responsibility. I guess eliminating suffering. Like, it doesn't make sense to suffer. Like, why would you deal with suffering? Or if you want to live life proficiently, it would be to turn us into cyborgs. But so then why is that such a fear of ours? Because we're trying to eliminate suffering, right? We're trying to eliminate suffering. We're trying to, do all these things that help life be easier for us. And at the same time, we have a huge focus on injustice, which is interesting. Really, really interesting. Because at the same time, who cares? You know, if someone is treated unjustly, why do we care? It's because we have a desire to make life good for, I think, us. Maybe that's a simple view. Maybe there's probably something way deeper, going on here, but nevertheless, it's an interesting idea, right? And I don't think it's something that should be forgotten. Hold on, I just want to see real quick if I need to go into the sewer. Chrono Trigger, do I need to go to the sewer? Since the free thunder sword is his best weapon. Physical, okay. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go, because I think I get a cool sword from it. What was I saying though? Because it was an interesting conversation. It was a good idea. Why improve the quality of life? That's interesting. And as I was saying, like, a depressed person, I think, would be the best to tell you, it's not like there's any real meaning, why are we all here, right? We're all just kind of here, but at the same time, like, we give life purpose, and you could say maybe it's because we're religious, and then we kind of get, like, attached. But see, I think there's something interesting going on there, because it's like, if we're all realistic, we don't know, no one's whispering in your ear besides another human being, so it doesn't make sense. Like, I think it's more interesting to ask, why are we so easily drawn to religious beliefs or I don't know, just like morality in general, like, why are we driven to this? It's way more interesting of a conversation than simply asking, way more interesting than saying, like, oh, you're dumb if you believe that, because really you're not, because I think this is what's going on. I think we're easily drawn because we're looking to take up some type of responsibility, and this is the best way that we find responsibility. It's through service. It's always through service to something higher. You know what I mean? Like, that's interesting, and it's not dull. It's not dumb, because if you're not religious, you're either a huge D-bag, you're maybe dead, or so depressed that you have anxiety, or no energy, or you're in service to mankind. You feel some type of responsibility for mankind. So it's like, no matter what, it's like, I think that shows something just about people, that we're always looking for something to be in service to. And here's what I'm saying, and here was my thing about the religious thing, like, why I think we're so easily drawn to it without question, because it's like at the same time, we believe in the Santa Claus, and there's no case for that, but even then we question Santa Claus. There's people out there who never question the religious faith, and it's like, even if they don't have an answer for something, which you would think would be obvious. It's like we're married to that, you know what I mean? Like once we're given something, we're just sold. But even the Santa Claus, it's like we're trying to find purpose in that. Like that's fascinating. Like why? You know? Who cares? But where's the purpose of Santa Claus? Santa Claus is some guy that says you should be nice to other people. So, and if you're nice, then you get gifts. And I guess what's the other side of this is like storytelling. What is the purpose of storytelling? Like, you think there's silly stories, but I mean, if you think about back in the day, like was it Hansel and Gretel, the story about the witch in the woods, in the forest? Why would a witch live in the forest? First off, there's no evidence for a witch. You know what I mean? So, and people aren't dumb. Like, I think we think people are dumb, but there's actually really good evidence that even children are very aware and make very reasonable decisions. I don't know if that's what causality is. Like the cause of, I'm not sure, but that's what Tamar Kushner studies. Like, children, one thing that she was talking about is like children make smart decisions that's based off of their previous knowledge. So it's like they're collecting all this information. Now it's easy to convince a kid, so I guess that's true. But kids aren't stupid. Like if you they tie dots together. You know, they take things and put it together like a scientist. That's really what kids are at the root. They're just very unorganized, scientific individuals. And that's one of my big beefs with, I think, besides psychologists, I think with well-studied people, is they think that they're on like some higher level. But I think psychologists kind of are curious about people more so than they are about showing how intelligent they are. But whatever. Now I'm just getting on a tangent. Just as a point. And I think one thing that I've been really struggling with is just like my judgment. You know, like I think I find myself quick to judge. And it's weird. It's because I think that I'll connect better if I find a similar enemy. It's strange. It's like if I can find a similar enemy, I go for it. On my own, I never care about stuff. But it's whenever I'm with someone and it's like maybe awkward or uncomfortable, I want to find a common enemy that we both share. So it's like I'll kind of shoot for the wind and be like, oh, do you know about X? Can't believe X does this. You know what I mean? Like, it's just silly. But again, even that is like interesting. You know why? Like, because I think that shows something too. Like, well, it's a good case for why you should be self-aware and take responsibility for your own feelings, because, you know, you can always judge another, and that's not very hard. But there's that saying that, you know, it's easy, or it's living life easy is hard, or doing easy things makes life hard, but doing hard things makes life easy. I think it's something like that. But it's true, you know, and part of that is just taking up responsibility for yourself and your own actions. Right now, we're dealing with my little sister a lot, and her continuous constant blame on school for her lack of taking up responsibility for not doing work. But the one thing that I keep trying to struggle with is, and like I said, she's not dumb. You know, she brings this up to us all the time. I just don't think she's honest with herself in many ways at the same time. But she's not dumb. She says, like, well, I don't find a purpose in it. You know what I mean? Like, it means nothing to me. Like, yeah. I mean, I guess that's a good argument. I mean, why do something hard if there's no reason to do it? That's a really good question. Why do something hard? Well, sometimes this is tough. Sometimes because you don't know the reason. So what do you do? Because at the same time, you can't just do everything, right? You can't, like, you could make that case. You should do things to find out the benefit. At the same time, then it's like, well, what don't you do? You know? Like, maybe let's study. Maybe let's find out. I don't know. That's a good question, though. I think it's another thing. It's good. I think one mistake maybe, or one, maybe not mistake, but maybe, I don't know, just one thing that I noticed is like, I find that, like, we're quick to want to give answers, right? Want to give all the answers in the world, but not give questions. And questions are what's gonna help. Like, you think a kid, here, let me just ask you this. Do you think a young child cares at all about, just for example, I don't know, your scientific research papers or studies or findings? No. So if they don't ask, it's like all you're doing is pounding information to their head. It's like my puzzle piece analogy that I talk about. You know, if you picture everything that you have in your head as this puzzle piece, then I don't think I'm gonna make it. If you picture everything that you have in your head as one big puzzle piece, then that was ridiculous. That wasn't easy. It was hard. Then it's like all, you know how like puzzle pieces have information written onto them or drawn onto them? You know, in pictures say 1,000 words. Well, a puzzle piece is an image with information on it. So it's like you have all these puzzle pieces that you collect just from living, just from having experiences, okay? So then it's like you're collecting all this information, or you have this data of information, and then it's like you just want to give this information to everybody that you see. It's like you just want everyone to know all about this new discovery that you have, or whatever. You know, but you want to share it, you know what I mean? But it's like you have to almost position people in the right place to learn, you know? Like, people have to be ready to or people not ready, but people have to want to learn, you know? Hold on, I think this is important. Monsieur, no, must not climb the feet very far anyway. This is very interesting. I think this is where I get the epoch, which is a time machine. But what was I saying? They have to show you the way. Let me look this up real quick. I'm a cheater. I cheat, I know. But it's the end of pretty much the end of the episode anyway. Chrono Trigger, Death Mountain, or Death Peak. Location, Keepers. Thought you fuck. Chrono Trigger, Keepers Dome. Turns out if you get near the tree, you can walk. The wind won't move. You won't move. Simply walk, not run behind trees. Will be fine. Oh no. 2 until I search. Near a tree, you can walk. The wind won't move. I hope this helps. Play, isn't it? Well, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know I simply had a good time. There's a lot of things I think I touched on, didn't quite finish discussing. A lot of things I think I touched on, but I think my brain is just so crazy right now. Like, I just have all these ideas kind of stuck in it at the moment. Ooh, aw, dang. I have all these ideas. That's the tree. That's the tree. But that's how. Okay, well, I guess I can't do it. So anyway, I guess we got everything that we need from here. Well, I better end this. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know, as I said before, I enjoyed it. I appreciate you guys listening. I really do. And I really like doing these. I've been doing these early, so that kind of helps me out in regards to just having time and doing these whenever I feel like I'm mentally there. Even though, like, today I was, like, in between, you know what I mean? But I think I'm starting to learn how to, like, get myself into that space. It's like, but then sometimes it's hard to stay on that track of mind. But I'm really enjoying this game, and I hope you guys are too. And yeah, but like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed. And I hope you guys keep watching for this series, at least the Chrono Trigger series. One, thank you for watching. And I guess I guess I had to beat these guys first. If you guys enjoy this podcast and this series, just so you know, one way that you can help support is you can donate if you go to my website, which is joshuatbryan.com. You can go to my website. Don't check it out, babe. You can go to my website, and if you scroll all the way down, that's the place where you can donate to me. But as I always say, the best way that you can support is simply by watching and sharing. Of course, I do these things for free. And it's easy, so I'm not like tripping about that. But one day I do hope that this could be something bigger that a lot more people listen to. Oh, I have a story for you guys next time too. But anyway, with that all being said, I will check you guys next time. See ya.